Welcome to the Serendipitous podcast. This week's episode, we have Mary Jane Midnight. We had a wonderful conversation. I'm stoked for you to hear it. Enjoy.
And intro.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks.
I am Devilish Damia. I am
Hi.
here with Mary Jane Midnight,
Hey.
the Technicolor toker. This week's episode of the Serendipitous podcast, I am so incredibly excited to have Mary Jane. Mary Jane was one of the first performers I ever saw.
Is that true?
Yeah, like real life burlesque.
Yeah.
You were one in like the first show in Houston I ever saw.
I was just seeing videos on my phone. Every now and then you got to clean out your photos because otherwise you run out of space. And the first time I think I really actually stopped and met you, was at the Alice in Wonderland burlesque soiree.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that was Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a Tweedle.
Yeah.
And you and Cameron were sitting front and center.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, and you're on a little video that I made.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's so cute. So
Yeah.
cute. That was a cute show. The stage was set up weird, that show.
Yeah, that was my idea. It was a bad idea. I'll take full ownership of
My
that
bad.
bad idea.
Not
No,
trying
it
to
was
talk shit. I was just like,
it was a bad
it
idea.
was so different.
I just felt so deeply that it was gonna work out better, and it didn't. And that's okay.
Honestly, yeah. I could see it though. I could see the intention.
I wanted it to be good. Anyway.
You're like, move on.
Anyway.
So
Listen, I owned it, okay? And we can be done.
you did fine. Okay, so I'm gonna read just my little Serendipitous podcast. Intro is this podcast is a podcast where sincere and remarkable souls gather to share their unmasked selves and connect authentically. Truthfully, we have been talking for many minutes by now.
They would have never known.
But that's not authentic. Because we just got into it. Honestly, I feel like that's
I think that's how this is supposed to go, honestly.
Exactly. But I do want to get back into your story. So what story were you just telling me?
We were talking about pasties and me being high.
Yes.
And I can't remember the why of this show that I was at. It was Lady Annabelle had asked me to host, which was super exciting because I love hosting. I love holding a microphone. I love
that.
Love it. I love my voice being amplified.
I love hearing my voice.
I do. I love well,
honestly.
when I want attention, the fact that I'm able to like command, that's one of my favorite parts about burlesque is that I get to choose, right, when I go up on stage, and I don't always like attention. Very often I actually don't want any attention at all. Please ignore me.
That's so fair.
Yeah, but
Don't perceive me.
please do not perceive me. Yes, absolutely.
You're like, no one look at me or I'll kill myself.
100%. I'm so glad you said that. Do you watch the Blocks podcast by Neil Brennan?
I don't.
Oh my gosh, he's a comedian. He's so fucking funny. But anyway, he says that, and that's where I got that from. Just please don't perceive me at all. I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when I get to be a host, not just a performer, but also a host,
Yeah.
and then I get to be like, look at me right fucking now. I have the microphone. I'm in charge. It's very good for my.
So empowering.
It's very empowering. It's very good. It's very good for my. I think it's like it helps me get that out, so that I'm tolerable in real life.
Yeah.
I
And
think
it fills you up for a little bit.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
More than enough, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I did this show. Oh, it was an anniversary party for Ka Sushi.
Ooh.
And I got invited to host. And the girls were beautiful. The performers, it was Sadie Mercedes, Kendall Aronell, and Holly Ghost Make Me was kittening. And she did a singing number in there. And I did one act. And I was just, having a gay old time, enjoying myself, and went and put my costume on. I was on time, no problem. I was fully on time. And my song starts and I start dancing and get all the way through my act. And of course, the last thing I take off is my bra. And I go, everything's fine. And I go to take off my bra and it just clicks. I don't even think I had to look down. I think I just remembered, like, I don't made that exact face, like, I don't have my pasties on. Oh. And I turn around, like the crowd's like right here and Omar's behind me. And I just like turn around and my face is like And he started laughing, and I'm like looking for my boa, and either him or Holly like throw my boa at me, and I toss my bra and I hold my boa up, and I'm like trying to do an end pose and like not show my tits. And I get on the microphone and I'm like, well, that was me, and I forgot to put pasties on, so I'm gonna go fix that and enjoy some music while
have fun. Bye.
And just like ran back there, and I just was like, what the fuck ever. But like,
I mean,
but I mean, it's a pretty, and we just had a whole conversation about how it's important, how we like the pasties,
right?
That it's our last line of like
separation.
barrier.
But I mean, you still had it with the boa-ish.
Totes.
But
I caught it before anyone saw
like,
it.
The boa, thank God. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you could still hand bra
You could
that
totally
shit.
hand
bra that shit out.
It is one perk, I think, of having teeny tiny little titties is like they're not hard to hide.
Very easy to hand bra that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not hard.
Yeah.
It is challenging to find inspiration in the bust area, like when I look at.
That's why you're one of my biggest inspirations, because I have a very small bust.
Yes.
And that's why I think you stuck with me so much when I first saw you, because all my representation for burlesque beforehand is very voluptuous boobies.
Yes.
Which
we love.
We love them.
We love.
But we also love the itty bitty titties.
Very much.
Okay?
Yeah.
And we need to see more of it.
We do.
So like you, like Poppy, like
Poppy.
Michelle Lamore is a huge inspiration for me.
Yeah.
I need that. And
yeah, I'm really appreciative of the women who rock the little titties.
yeah.
I have no intention of augmenting my body, so these are them. This is what you get.
You get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
That's correct. And not only that, but you'll pay me.
Mm-hmm. You're going to tip me for these titties.
That's right. Oh, but the opposite is true too. I like me some big old boobies.
For sure.
I
just love all boobs.
I love all boobs.
Like, they're all good.
There's no such thing as titties that I don't like.
Correct.
Is there anyone in the burlesque community that's not at least bisexual?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know.
I mean, even maybe just identifying as queer.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. Like, I haven't, honestly haven't paid too much attention. I'm just kind of like,
I think we all.
I feel like it's kind of confusing at times, so I'm just like, I'm gonna let y'all do whatever the fuck you want, because that's your thing.
I've really mistaken a couple of like people just being nice to me for people maybe liking me, and I'm like, oh, and now I think I have a crush on this person, but then they're just being nice to me. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. I don't know what you're into. I don't know. All I know is that everyone here is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And that confuses my stupid little brain sometimes.
This is true. This is true. I've just, you know what? I've decided my brain is going to like what it wants. And there's no reason. I don't need to explain it. My brain doesn't need to explain it. Because, like, I don't think there's an explanation for all of them.
I don't even know
You
how.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Logan the Cure, gives me so much, like, confusion. Because I'm like, well, yeah. But, like, so I'm just like, you know what? Who cares? I like what I like.
I saw them. I performed with them. That was the first show I ever did that wasn't with Divine Darlings. Was Rock and Roll Review. Logan was there, and they are hilarious and sexy, and it was really strange. Like that challenges my brain a little bit. Like what? I don't know what's appropriate for me to say to you.
I know. I embarrassed the shit out of myself. I was like,
I've fangirled so hard over people.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I'm not ashamed. I'm not embarrassed. You get what you get. And this is me. That's
valid. That was my first real kittening gig, so I was really
I
nervous.
remember.
So I'm gonna give myself grace for however nervous I was and however that made me.
I was so nervous for that show. I was so nervous. I did that Grinch act, and I felt I really liked that act, but I also was like so insecure about it being like too soft for that show. Because everyone on that show is so edgy, and like, I would have maybe picked a different act. Yeah. If I went back, I would have done something else. I actually would have done Dick in a Box maybe instead, because Rock and Roll Review, that's one of the things that I love so much about Julia, her support for baby burlesquers. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of people that are, well, I don't know. Recently, there's been a lot of like quickly rising baby performers that are just hitting the pavement hard, which is awesome to see. And but also I like that at Gulia's shows you can bring the what would you say it's called? Like niche? Is that the right word? Or just like different? Like
yeah, just like that kind of harder burlesque style.
there's all. I mean, like I love the Rock and Roll Review because you can bring the different acts.
Yeah,
there.
kind of. Yeah,
That's the reason why I love Burley Soiree too.
yeah.
Because it's just
more
such a
freedom,
fun show, super free,
Yeah,
super free. I've brought every act there has been a new act that I've done because I
cool.
feel really safe there to just like go for it. So like, and I also am really really love to improv so much.
yeah.
I also pick songs that I know like the back of my hand so that I can improv and just like feel comfortable and do whatever. And probably my favorite show that I ever did was Dahlia Derringer's
The Shake It Down Showdown.
Yes.
It's fun.
Oh man, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And Dahlia gave me the best compliment ever afterwards. And she was like, dude, your musicality is so good. She was like, you just like knew all the songs. And I was like, thank you. And yes, like I listened, like it made me feel so good. And it made me feel
That's
like,
so good.
yeah, because I don't have any classical dance training whatsoever.
Me
I
either.
don't have any. Well, I guess this is one of the questions is like, how did you get into burlesque?
Yes, I would love to know.
So I literally took one class from Taylor, from Lady Annabelle at the Houston Divine Studio when it was at Spring Street Studios. And I don't even know how it came on my page. I don't know how it came up at all, honestly. But, a girl that I did my yoga teacher training with, she posted, I guess, about it like on her story. So it was like another whole nother degree of separation. And then I went and Taylor was getting content that day. So then Showgirl Studios was there.
Oh yeah.
And it was like a whole thing. And so it was like a very intentional class. It was a really good class. And we did burlesque and floor work. And I have so many pictures from that day of my first burlesque class ever. And I guess maybe my second, but still my first like official class. And then like a week or two later, Lady Annabelle posted about Showcase. And
Divine timing.
I know. And I like didn't sign up at first. I was just like, financially, I don't know if I could do it. You know, pussyfoot around like you do. And then I messaged her. By the time I messaged her, her mom was handling the email account at the time. And she was like, we're actually full, but we'll definitely do another one. Something. I was like, okay, well, that's what I get, for waiting, whatever. And then the next day, we're going to start one more. We're going to put one more group together. We have 4 people. There's a spot for you if you want it. You can put your deposit down right now. And I asked about a payment plan. She was like, we'll work with you, whatever you need. Said, okay. I think Matthew and I had just started dating at the time. And I was like, hey, I know I said I was going to spend money on some stuff, but I'm going to spend some money on some stuff. And he was like, yeah, whatever, go have fun. And then I fell in love with it. And it was really fun. And it was, God, I made friends instantly. Instantly we made friends, which was really fun. I learned so much. And it kind of just like feel like I hit the ground running after that first show. Yeah. And I just, because Lady Annabelle is so supportive of us, like once we tell her we're interested, she'll keep you in mind for everything. And she'll constantly send you invitations. Do you want to be a part of this? And so I was jumping at opportunities when I could. And I did a lot of shows that year. What was that? Not 2023, but I guess that was 2022.
It was like, I feel like middle of 2022 to like middle of 2023.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it just show. And then it just kind of fell out of alignment for a little while. I had to take a break. Yeah. It was really funny. I who was it? I guess it was Abby. Abby was like, are you still dancing? Are you still performing? And I was like, I am. Well, not really. I took a break. She goes, I know. And she's, are you done? And I'm like, I think so. I think I'm done. There's another question on there that was like, what's one thing that you wish you knew?
Yeah.
And it's like how fucking expensive this is. Straight up. They don't tell you.
Fucking expensive.
They don't tell you. My showcase outfits, I borrowed almost everything from Lady Annabelle.
Yeah.
Almost everything.
Sharing scary?
Oh, yeah, that bitch. No one supports like she does. And you tell me how I try to fit my teeny ass little titties in her big old bra. I did it. I don't.
Hell yeah.
But, and then my big old juicy booty in her teeny tiny little panties. Again, I did it. It worked. We did
sure
it.
You slayed it.
I felt good.
Good.
I felt good. But like after that, starting to build my wardrobe was
A lot.
it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Time it's a time investment and a monetary investment.
It's crazy how long it takes. I just finished rhinestoning a corset, and I swear it took me like probably the full 24 hours total. Like
Yeah.
like just it took me months and like bursts of like hours of just rhinestoning tiny little parts of it.
Yeah.
And then continuing on later.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
It's hard to, I don't know if this is ADHD or what, but like if I put it out of sight, it is seriously out of mind.
Yeah.
It's so out of mind. And so then it's like a point of a problem with me and my boyfriend, because then I have my shit everywhere, because I'm like, I can't put this away, right? If I put this away, it will not get done. I have to leave it out. And I have a big old like mannequin body now to put stuff out. And I try to do stuff in like my room, in my office, but it just feels so like boxed in. I'm like, I'm sorry, I got to move downstairs. Like, I need to take up space. I need to take up space. I need to move my
out in the open over here.
I just need to breathe. And the other thing too is they don't fuck around. People thought like, oh man, it cracked me up seeing Kara Cherie's videos. She has a mask on when she's gluing, right? When she's using that E6000, which you should do.
Yeah,
you
really
should wear a mask if you're fucking with E6000, and open a window and turn on a fan. What I will tell you is I've never done any of those things.
Yes, you really should. Don't worry about it, okay?
Don't worry about it. What I also do is have an open flame with my bong and hit my shit when all this fucking fumes all around me.
Yes, so really good practices at that Mary Jane's house for costume. Do as we say, not as we do.
I'm here.
That's what my parents used to say all the time. I used to fucking hate that shit.
I do hate that very much, and I'm here to make mistakes so that you don't have to. I volunteered for the big sister auntie role so that I can fuck up for you, and I'll do it. I got my chart read years ago, my Ayurvedic astrology chart, my Vedic astrology chart. And this woman looked me in my eye and said, "This is going to be a hard life for you." And I said, "You don't say."
No. Fuck.
So I'm here for you guys. I'm doing it for the plot.
Oh, yeah. Just to keep it interesting at this point. That's fun. That's fun.
What else was on the list of things?
I would like to know how MaryJaneMidnight became your name.
Well, very simply, I put in the group chat, and shout out to Megan from Showgirl Studios, because she honestly came up with everything, my name and my tagline. And she shot me out.
That's a common theme I've noticed.
She shot me out. She's very quick with it. She shot me out several options. But I was like, I'm trying to think of something that has something to do with weed, something to do with rainbows, something to do with happiness, something to do, like, that's my vibe.
Yeah.
And then there was a couple of options, and MaryJaneMidnight. I said alliteration, because alliteration is my shit.
Oh.
It's my favorite.
It feels so good on my
It does
mouth.
feel very good for my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And it tickles my brain just right, and it's very good. And so MaryJaneMidnight just came up. What's interesting is, well, so then we were thinking about taglines, and it was, she also came up with Schedule 1 Hun, which is fucking funny. And we were doing like the sweetest sativa in town, which is cute, but sativas aren't sweet, so that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But I'm sweet.
Yeah.
And energetic like
You're
a
a new
sativa.
strain.
I am a new strain. And then there was one more. I can't remember. Something about being smoking hot or something. Something like that. But then 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 Lady Annabelle kept saying my name wrong, and she kept saying Midnight Mary Jane.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And so it's kind of both because it gets said wrong all the time.
Yeah.
And I kind of like both.
Yeah.
Because they work either way. But I honestly am feeling disconnected from my name lately, from my stage name.
And you can change it.
I might be down for a full rebrand, complete, like a full, so burlesque kind of came out of alignment for a little while because I really was not showing up authentically for a while. And I don't really know. I was kind of engaging in behavior that I didn't really like. I would say drinking excessively, kind of engaging in gossip in a way that's really unlike me, and not holding people accountable the way that I would normally hold people accountable for their behaviors too. You know, some people are the cause of their own suffering, and you just gotta point at it and be like, that thing that you just did is the thing that's hurting you. And I just wasn't showing up like that, and I was almost encouraging this kind of like things that, you know, my not stupid eyes can see are bad or like not helpful. Nothing's bad, but like just not helpful. And so I was really acting out of alignment with my spirituality, and I fell out of alignment in life with my like goddess self and my highest self and my like relationship with my sensuality and sexuality, because I started basing what I did off of other people, right? Like off of what other people thought was the right move, picking songs that other people thought were the right songs, picking costumes, you know, designing things certain ways, and speaking to people certain ways and doing all that. So it was just really going out of alignment. And then I had a conversation with Lola Divine, who I fucking love. Shout out to Lola. And just talking to her about how, you know, burlesque is a platform to really help you show up as your biggest, loudest, proudest self, like whatever that is, and to like amplify a version of yourself that maybe you don't get to be all the time. And what I felt about that is like, I actually love who I show up as in real life. And I didn't love who I was showing up as with Mary Jane. And Mary Jane could be just an amplified version of this already fucking rockin' person that I am. I don't have to create a character. I can just be even better, even bigger, you know? And so now that I'm back in this place of knowing, like I feel very connected to my intuition. I feel very connected to my spirituality. I feel very connected to my divine feminine energy. And that had gone away for a while. And so now I know if I'm going to come out of retirement, I keep saying coming out of the burly closet.
That's so funny.
Then I have this opportunity in front of me to show up this other way as me, and the way that feels really good, and that amplifies what I want to amplify, and that engages in only the things that I want to engage in, and that puts a halt to things, stands up for my boundaries. You know, I'm not here to fucking tell anybody how to live their life. Be whoever you want to be.
Right.
You know, say whatever you want to say. And sometimes my sweet little precious ears don't want to fucking hear it. And I can just say, hey, this conversation isn't for me, and like leave. And it doesn't have to be like, hey, this conversation needs to stop. I can just leave. Like I can remove myself. From that. And so now when I'm thinking about my name and my tagline, I feel called to look into like feel into how I can show up better, even more, you know. And I love Technicolor Toker, but I love MaryJaneMidnight, and I also think I could do bigger. I don't think I need to connect myself so much to like weed as a theme is one thing, because like in my real life, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I love to get high, but like I'm a business owner and
Right,
I,
it's
you
not your
know,
whole
yeah, and I got
personality,
shit to do,
you know?
and
There's
I'm
so much else to highlight about yourself.
so much more, and I'd actually prefer that not be the focus. I'd prefer the way that I lift other women up be the focus. I would prefer my joy and my kindness to be the thing that I expand on or zoom in on or you know, amplify.
For sure.
And so now that I know that, I don't know where I'm going with that, but I know that's a thing. So I don't know how much longer Mary Jane Midnight's going to be.
Well,
here.
I love Mary Jane Midnight, and I'm sure I'm going to love the next name that you choose. And it's going to represent you in the best way. And so that's what's going to matter the most. And so I'm so excited to hear about it when it happens. Just take your time and just let it feel.
Something's got to like spark it, I think, like oh, that's it. I don't know. It'll come to me. But it'll be much more inspired by that goddess energy.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. That's really cool. I know, I've contemplated sometimes if maybe I always want to be devilish Damia, because I always just go by Damia. And when I chose Damia, that of course I've told this already was my first D&D character's name.
Yeah.
Right. But when I was looking into name my first D&D character, I chose that name because she was the goddess of the fertile earth. And I feel so connected to nature and everything like that. But I also find tieflings and devil things really sexy.
Yeah.
But I have always wondered I wonder if I always want to be connected. And I'm not a religious person, so it doesn't have any super big weird meanings for me, but I do know that it has some weird meanings for maybe venues or something like that. But I'm also do I really care? I don't know. I kind of have to ask myself that and think about it. But
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like devilish Damia, but also I always call you my angel, so I don't know.
I know. It's always so funny. People are like, "You're so angelic." You're not.
You're
a devil.
sweetie.
Yeah.
A little sweet.
Yeah. It's all an act.
It's all pretend.
This has all been a trick. You have been trolled.
Now for a burlesque history lesson.
So, Miss Candy Bar was actually arguably the first porn star. She said she was coerced into it, which is not great, but that's kind of how it was in the olden times. Ends up sadly being the story. She was a stripper in Dallas in the 50s, and she gained the name Candy Bar thanks to her affinity for Snickers, which I thought was really cute.
I like that. That's how I want it to be that easy for my name to
Right?
come.
Yeah.
Is that her?
That is her.
Oh, wow.
That is Candy Bar. That was one of her signature acts. Was she would dress up in a cowboy outfit with some toy guns.
So cute.
Very cute.
I have a really dumb question about this style of photo that I've always wondered. Is that a photo or is that a drawing?
I honestly have never even thought about it.
Does it look like a photo to you?
I mean, to me, it looks like a drawing.
It looks like a drawing to me.
What do you think, Cam? Cameron doesn't know either.
And that's how photos just looked back then?
Maybe.
Because there's lots of those.
Right.
Oh, so how they made that was they took a photo of her, they cut it out, they created that magazine cover, and then they Xeroxed it.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The background of whatever she was printed on. That's what photos looked like.
Yeah.
And that's the classic pinup style photos. And I've always been confused by that. I'm like, is that just
Yeah.
Anyway, Candy Bar. Go on. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I was just damn, I really never even
Look, see, that looks like a photo.
Yeah, that is also her.
Yeah.
And see, that looks
she's
like a real
cute.
just camera photo.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart. So trouble seemed to always find her.
Classic.
She ended up shooting her second husband because he was abusive. So she was like, fuck you.
Girl power.
Yep. She ended up getting sentenced to a prison term for marijuana possession. So
Terrible.
so bad. How dare she? I can't believe why people would smoke anything. That's
such a bad habit.
Such a bad habit. She was also known for having a relationship with Mickey Cohen, the LA mob boss, very famous, kind of like very famous gangster. Okay. And then Jack Ruby, the guy who killed Lee Harvey Oswald, who was the guy that killed JFK.
Oh,
so yeah, lots of crazy just like things intertwined in her life, which I thought was really interesting.
So in the book Pussy, how she talks about the courtesans.
That's one of my favorites.
Do you think that she was kind of like a courtesan and she somehow manipulated these men into creating huge moments in history?
Ooh, maybe.
Not manipulated is still a good word in this situation, I think. Like she used her divine feminine prowess to create history.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
Honestly?
So.
Yes.
Honestly, yeah. I think so. I mean, like, just based on all the things I've read.
I love this.
She's kind of a slay. Okay, yeah. So then she tried to relive her glories after she got out of prison. But she ended up just like, it wasn't her connection anymore. She wasn't feeling it. And kind of retired. And then in 2005, she ended up passing away from pneumonia.
How old was she?
She was 70.
Oh, I don't know how to do math. I thought that was way older than that.
No.
That's still a good long life.
Yeah. But
bitch went to prison. She's seen some shit.
She did. And apparently while she was in prison, they tried to get her to perform at the prison rodeo.
Of course
and she was like, it's not mandatory, right? And they were like, I mean, no. And she's like, then no.
Then you can eat my ass. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Nope. You're going to imprison me for some bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to dance for you.
Well, thank you, Miss Candy Bar, for all that you've done for burlesque and our history.
Yes. Miss Candy Bar. I thought that was cute.
Candy Bar.
Yeah, a nice little Texas cowboy girl.
Cowboy girl.
A Texas cowboy girl, everybody. Oh, yeah. So speaking of people that did amazing things for burlesque,
yes.
I would like to ask your top 5, and you can choose performers, acts, or people that you want to see perform in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, combo answer. Yeah. Because it's like a little mix of all of them. The first thing that comes to mind is places I would like to perform in the future / an artist that changed my world / her act.
I love that.
Was the first Aphrodisiacs at Rooftop Rise, which is now Warehouse Live. It was Nikki's first big production there, and it was the 420 show. And so we went to that show, and I almost cried because I had just never seen that kind of production value so close to home. I had seen a couple of other burlesque shows, one being the Holly Madison Peep Show in Vegas. And so obviously that was really high production value. And then I show up at this show, and it's just the biggest stage ever, and the venue is huge, and the lighting is impeccable, and the vibe screams big, right? It was just such a big show. And so that in general, or that just as a moment in itself was such a it just was pivotal. And I was like, oh fuck, this is sick. This is so cool, because I had seen Aphrodisiacs at Pearl Bar, and it was just a teeny tiny little show. That was the first time I saw Nikki. That was one of my first experiences in the Houston burlesque scene. And it was great show. But then moving up into Rise Rooftop or whatever was God, it was so crazy. So that's a show that I would love to be a part of. That stage, that stage almost means more to me than what the theater, the Neon Rouge Theater, means to a lot of people. That stage holds that kind of weight for me, I think. Where when I was like, oh, I want to be up on that big stage. Like I want to command that much space. And then I saw Piper Daly at that show. And I really, man, I don't know if she's going to see this, but I really hope I'm correct that this was her act. I'm 99.9% positive this was her act, because I fell in love. I freaked the fuck out, dude. Bitch took her fucking gloves off with her ass cheeks, bro. And I lost it. I mean, I was with my friend and I'm like, stop. I'm like, did you just take her fucking glove off with her ass? Like, is that? And I like lost it. And I like stood up, snapping, screaming, like hollering. I fucking lost it. And I was like, you give me a juicy booty, I'm in for it. You give me a juicy booty that can do tricks. I am dead.
Oh my god, I want to witness that so
God,
bad.
it was so good.
That
I
sounds
lost
great.
it. I lost my shit. And so I haven't really figured out how to do that yet, but bet your bottom dollar one day I will. It'll happen.
Practice makes perfect.
It does.
In
And
your bedroom, taking gloves off once a night.
in the booty.
In the booty.
It was, and I'm like, I don't really know how you make that sexy, but she did it. And I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm gonna. And it's gonna be glorious. But yeah, so that's like those there. And then I think that Holly Madison peep show was when I was, I don't know, 17, maybe 18. And that might have been my real first burlesque show. And there was an act. I would fucking die if I could do this. There was an act, and they danced to Milkshakes by Khalees. My milkshake brings all boys to the yard. And these women got into a tank full of milk, and they did synchronized swimming dancing.
Oh my god.
In this clear tank full of white milk, which it probably obviously wasn't milk, it was water with like white dye or whatever the fuck. But they would press their ass cheeks up to the glass. They would press their titties up to the glass. Like, they were taking off costumes in the water and doing like synchronized dancing in the water, and like peep showing in the fucking water, in the milk. That's to Milkshake. It was so good. It was another one of those, like, are we all here right now?
Is really
everyone
existing?
seeing this? And that changed my life. That was epic. So good.
That sounds amazing.
God, it was so good. I don't think I'll ever forget that. And then I don't know. What I'm trying to do is fit more into classic burlesque, but it doesn't fit like a glove.
Yeah.
I like to do different stuff. And
My feet are trying to take off my Yeah.
And I have right now an idea. Okay, cut this out. Well, something that I don't really resonate with, but it is like a part of the community culture, is like, once you know someone's done something similar, you like can't do it. Yeah. And I mean, like, out of respect, I get it. And also, like, we're all different. Like, like, if you chose a song and I did the same song, it would be a different show. It would be a different act. Mm-hmm. But I'm guilty
we have very
of
different styles.
For sure. And I'm guilty of freaking out when that happens, because one show I definitely had the same song as someone and I didn't know, and I was like, what the fuck? What am I gonna do? And nobody cared or noticed. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, well, we're so different, it didn't matter, right? Yeah. So like, who cares? Yeah. Whatever. Respect is good though. You should respect everyone.
Right. I mean, if it happens on accident, whatever.
Yeah.
But like you said, out of respect, but also like, if you are like dead set on that song, maybe just give it a little bit of time, and also talk to that performer if like you're afraid, and just be like, hey, I really love this song, and like,
yeah,
I'm just letting you know
I've been dreaming about it. And then there's also, I think, some like, if it's like a classic jazz or like a classic song, like
if it's already a really
it's
popular
just something
song,
that people do,
like,
just do it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. For all the baby burlesquers out there, don't worry so much about it. There's going to be people out there that tell you there's stuff that you need to care about. You get to decide what's important for you to care about. And if it feels wrong to you, then it probably is. And
well,
if
that's
it's
because your art form, like when you get into it,
yeah,
it's your art, you know. And like all art forms, there's traditions and
Mm-hmm.
you know, normalities and things like that. But that's why people push boundaries and things like that too. There's spaces for that. So
yeah. Do you feel like you made a lot of friends in this community?
I think so. I'd like to hope so.
Yeah.
I've always been that type of person that sometimes trusts really easily when I shouldn't. And I get burned by it a lot. So I've also tried to be like really cautious, and just protect myself a lot. 'Cause like when I found Burlesque, I had just gotten out of a like friendship that was just like really unhealthy, and like just overall wasn't looking out for me. But I do feel like I've made a lot of friends. Like I feel like I've made you like a friend, like a true friend.
Actually, no.
We're not friends.
I'm kidding. That was really rude. We are very good friends. I wouldn't say that I have a lot of friends. I would say I made a lot of connections with people. Like I have a lot of acquaintances.
That's fair.
But I wouldn't say, because I dove in head first. Like I said, with Showcase, we made friends, just like such fast friends. And, just all the excitement and all the girl time and all of that, it's infectious. And then I don't know, and then you kind of take a step back and you're like, oh, maybe this isn't quite in alignment with what I think is good and right and true. And then there's the opposite end of that. With the other thing that I'll say to like baby burlesquers is, again, it's like your discernment. Like, I'm really glad that I didn't listen to the majority of the information that I got from other people about other people. I got information, you know, so-and-so, this person is not kind, or this person is something, or this person is something else. And I just didn't listen to any of that, and made my own decisions. And I'm glad I did, because the way that I've been treated in this industry does not reflect a lot of the information that I got from other people. And then where I see some people have put their trust, it doesn't align with like where I would put my trust. So I'm glad I made my own.
That's a really good point, because like that always happens, right? And I think a lot of the time the intention is like, oh, I'm looking out for you.
Yeah, totally.
And sometimes the intention is not that. And like,
I think it always comes from a good place, but other people's perception of like what they got, like what they think is like kind of their own thing.
Right. And so you should always just like, okay, I hear that. I'm going to form my own opinions.
For sure.
And just be observant.
Be
Protect
observant.
Yourself.
Yeah.
And
protect your energy.
Like your people too. Like if you see something that's like really not right, say something, because like
we gotta something that I've been really like reflecting on, and I don't know exactly how to do it better or be better, but we have to like represent and stand up for and care for our Black artists more. Our like, we don't represent Black females in Houston as much as we should, and like I don't see enough Black females on posters or like
very true.
And the amount of times that I have performed with beautiful Black women, and they have had to repeatedly remind people like lighting is different for them, and like they have, you know, like, oh, you can't take a picture in this dark, oh, don't worry, we'll use flash. And it's like, no, like we need better lighting, and like that's, they deserve to be shown in the best light too, you know. And like the respect at shows that I've seen be kind of handed out to white women versus Black women is like very obvious to me. And that's come on the heels of a lot of like eye-opening conversations as well with my Black female performer friends. And like I said, I don't know how to, I mean, other than just call it out when I see it, which is like, of course, call it out. Haven't always been good about that, but that's my, like, that's how I can help.
Right.
And then also like just more representation, because we have that, we need more big body representation.
We need a lot of representation.
Yeah.
For just not like the paper cutter, like Barbie looking, you know what I mean?
Totally. Even, I mean, like, I know I have a good good body, right? Like I know
I mean,
I'm fit,
white, skinny,
Yeah.
attractive. I get it. I have privilege for sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
But like also I don't even see myself like represented up there all that often. Well, I mean, like of course that's just like if you have any form of body dysmorphia, you never see like your most beautiful self. But like, you know, sometimes the people we see up there are just so, you know, they are perfect. They're beautiful. Everyone is beautiful and perfect. And there's room for some differences.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just think society's had such a big part in enforcing what's perfect that we've lost sight of what's actually perfect, which is bodies in general. Because they literally take care of you. So, like, how could you not love something that's, you know, literally helping you be alive?
Yeah. It's like the only way that you could be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
totally.
it makes life, and like it's just either way, it's like literally a canvas that you're just showing off to me, and no matter what way you put it, I'm gonna love it because you're sharing it with me.
Yes.
It's
Gorgeous. All-time favorite, well, all-time, maybe not all-time favorite, but favorite big body performer, favorite thick bitch, my favorite beautiful, curvy, delicious lady that gets up on that stage, Susan from Morningstar. Oh God, I could look at her all day. I love her. I love her acts.
I think the batteries are dying.
But we put new batteries in this morning. How could this happen?
Fast forward, rewind. Fast forward, rewind. Fast forward, rewind.
So bad news, my phone was actually plugged in this time, but instead it actually ran out of storage and stopped recording. So thankfully I turned the camera on earlier and got some more of our casual pre-show kind of convo. So I figured you guys could watch that instead. Enjoy.
Vader will sit and just like make this mouth sounds, and I'm like, dog, you've got to get out of this room.
I can't handle that. Short stack will sometimes get, I'm talking about you. He'll sometimes get really bored, or like, honestly, even with his toys, he likes to perform surgery on them. And so he would literally like gnaw at the corners of like where the pockets for the squeakers are until it's just like soaking wet and just making the nastiest.
The gummy,
wet.
like that, like.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's so bad. So, anyways, enjoy your snacks.
Okay, now. Dig in.
The other one is my cat. My cat, she's got this little water bowl, and it's like constantly flowing because I guess that's how cats are encouraged to drink more water. I don't know. She's my dog. She's Matthew's cat, but when she laps the water out of the thing, it's the loudest sound I've ever heard. And I'm like, you're a cat. Like, your mouth is so small. How is it producing this sound? Like, how is this happening? And it does.
It's so confusing.
It's something.
Cats are wild creatures.
Yeah.
Love them, though. Love them. Oh, I forgot about my horns.
Go get them.
They're all the way in my car.
Don't go get them.
So far.
Not worth it.
Cameron, Photoshop my horns on me right now.
And go.
Okay.
I've been feeling very well, I've been so inspired in so many areas. Social media, I am so uninspired, so over it. I can't even.
It's exhausting.
I'm not into it at all.
I know. It's a lot. And when you have multiple accounts, it's like, okay, so I have to, and like, I love it. I like the connection piece.
I don't feel connected.
No,
I don't feel connected. I feel like a product. Yeah. And it's hard to be authentic. It's hard to be authentic and like show up every single day, because I already hold space for so many people all the time. And that's where like all my honesty and energy and effort goes. And then getting on and like putting something out there for the entire internet to see, it's like a whole other, a whole other thing. And I was like on a roll for like several months. I was like on it every day and I felt good about it. And literally nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like for several months.
No movement.
Like there wasn't like all my babes, of course, interact with my stuff, which is like I love you guys, and like you're not exactly my target audience,
Right.
you know? So like it's great, and it's like you know, it doesn't go past you guys.
Yeah.
Which is like I love you. But you would text me and tell me how much I'm doing well. So I don't necessarily need to see it on social media because it's in my real life. And it's like the people on social media that I need to be engaged with are the people I don't know, and I'm not getting connected with any of those people. It's very strange.
That is strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a really weird relationship with social media. It does border on unhealthy. Like, I just, like, spend a lot of fucking time on that bitch, and I, like,
So much.
can't, like, I'm always just, like, I want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then if I'm not on social media for a long time, then I'm like, oh, well, it's boring. Like, what's going on? But I also, like, for me, like, with posting, I always try and, like, be like, okay, this is at the end of the day, I want, like, my intention is for my family in the future to be like, she slayed that shit. And, like, she did what she wanted and, you know, did good things for the community. And, like, fuck the internet. I don't give a fuck about the internet because the internet's fucking psycho and evil.
So crazy.
And, like, there's so much judgment over bullshit. So, like, I just don't give a fuck anymore.
It's wild out there.
There's just so many people that will, like, nitpick things that don't make sense. It's like, oh, so this doesn't matter.
I have started rubbing people the wrong way every now and then, which is very funny. It's not funny. I don't ever want to offend anybody, but like, I want to be myself.
Yeah.
All the time.
Well, it's
and sometimes myself
all the time.
Sometimes myself is just somebody that rubs you the wrong way.
Well, and not like people. If you don't jive, scroll past. Like that's
Straight up. Just leave. Go somewhere else.
I'm
I mean,
not for
like,
you then.
I'm
That's
not, and I don't
okay.
have,
That's
there's
okay.
8 billion people on the planet.
Exactly.
I don't want to even pretend like I could possibly be something for everyone. That sounds wild.
And I don't really want to be either. Like,
do you get on different platforms for different reasons?
Right now, I feel like I try and go to wherever it is, I guess, serving me best.
What's
Like,
that look like right now?
Right now, Instagram. Yeah. Like, I feel like it's just really easy. Like, really easy to personalize, which is my big thing. I really like to have a lot of control over my content. And, like, with, like, Twitter, I feel like it's really boring. You just, like, post something and, like, it's, like, or a picture. Like, it's really just kind of, like, plain. Like, Facebook is, like, nobody's really on there.
I have no idea how to use Facebook anymore.
Yeah, so no idea. There's so many changes with that. Like, groups are confusing.
So confusing. I can't figure it out to save my life.
Yeah, and, like, so Instagram right now I think is, like, where a lot of my soul is
How old are
telling
you?
me to be. 23. Oh, and TikTok. But I don't post there a lot. I get a lot of inspiration from TikTok.
I
and,
definitely
like,
go to
ideas.
TikTok too. My Instagram on Debs and Flow is all yoga for yoga teachers. It's movement ideas. It's other yoga teachers. It's fucking business stuff and content stuff. And it's wonderful and it's very helpful. But I just get on there to post. I really don't interact very much. I look up to my friends, and even then I get real comparative and like real... It's not good. If I want to know what my friends are doing, I'll just fucking text them and ask them how they're doing and ask them what they're doing. Because otherwise, all my friends, we're all in the same business, essentially. We're all in the health and wellness in some way or another. And so we're all using pieces of our lives to paint the picture of the product, right, that we're selling, of self-acceptance and self-love, and like that includes yoga and that includes all kinds of other stuff. So we all have the same curation going on, and I fucking know that. And still seeing it is like, I need to know that you're a human, and this is convincing me that you're not, and I need to get that out of my head because you're my friend and I want you to stay my friend in my mind and not like, I don't want to build any resentment in my mind. And so I try hard to just post and go, but it's hard. Yeah. And then on Mary Jane, it's just burlesque, right? Which is perfect. I mean, like that's easy to just heart, just heart and go. Yeah. That's really easy. And that's really inspiring. My page is just covered in Cara Cherie right now because I'm so obsessed with her. Yeah. And her costuming is just, chef's kiss. I can't. Always. And when she does the videos where she talks on the videos and she like oh man, I wish she would do more. I mean, she's a busy lady, but but I wish she would do more of those. I'm just so like, and I've had the pleasure of dancing with her and meeting her and like spending some time with her in rehearsals and stuff. And I very much enjoy her like as a person. I think she's so funny, and she's just like, I think she's one of those people who's so inspiring to just watch. Because she's so good at what she does. She's so talented, and man, she's just one of those people, and those performers that can they force you to never look away. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They
like
control
everything. And I went to Hush Hush, and both her and Valentina and Abby, they just make, because it's such an intimate room, so they, I think it has to be on purpose, very intentionally, like take the time to make eye contact with every single person in there, and it's just like, you know, like it's like, oh, me, and like that's the game, and I know that's the game. It gets me every time. Oh yeah, I'm just I'm never not got.
My knees are jelly.
Yeah, and I'm just, oh my God, it's me, and they're just so good at that. Valentina for sure, she's got this like. That slender gaze. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like this like look. She's so fierce.
It's very fierce. Yeah, that's exactly where that's the word that popped in my head too.
Yeah. I love them. I love seeing them. They're hot on my mind right now because of that because that's the last show I saw. Yeah. And I'm really looking forward to hopefully working with them one day. Yeah. I love Abby. Abby's such a bad bitch. Yes. Her take no shit.
She's the bitch of the ball.
She is the bitch of the ball. Her take no shit. It cracks me up. I got to work with her for New Year's, not 2023, but 2022 into 2023. And as soon as we got to the venue, and you know, things are never as they seem. Like they're never as they're supposed to go. Yeah. And I was kittening, and I was in the group act, and then I was kittening, and it was like the layout of the venue was just impossible. It was so it was fucking impossible, dude. There was one elevator for the I don't know, 20,000 people that were there. Who fucking knows? Not 20,000, but let's say easily a ton of people. Let's say 2,000 people, which is a huge difference from 20,000, but that's okay. But it was still a lot. It was a lot. And there was one set of stairs and one elevator. And of course, everyone's taking the elevator. The performance space is upstairs. The fitting, like the dressing room is down, like 2 levels down. So not even the level where, or it was the level where everyone entered in. So you checked in with your tickets or whatever. You could go up the stairs or you could go in the elevator. And if you went in the elevator, it was doors on either side, and to get to the dressing room you had to go through the other side of the elevator. So the show was about to start, 2 performers were upstairs, someone was downstairs, and they were like, you got to go get them, they need to be prepped and ready to go, show is about to start. I'm like, okay. So I somehow make it into an elevator down, make it into the dressing room. I'm like, hey, you got to get up there. They get up there. I, for some reason, didn't get on that elevator. I don't know why. I don't know what stopped me from getting on that elevator, but then I couldn't fucking catch an elevator. Bitch, when I tell you, I sprinted in my heels. I have a corset on. I have my fucking Moulin Rouge skirt tied around my girl. And I run down the hall of this like service hallway, out the building, around the building, back in the door, up 2 flights of fucking stairs. And Abby's like, where the fuck were you? And I was like, I just had to run. I'm so sorry. It's like, oh my God, I was like, please don't hate me. And she was like, okay, thank you. And she was really nice.
Oh my God.
It was fun. It was fun. And she saw the hot mess that the everything was, and she was just like, this doesn't happen when I show up at places. I was like, I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe that this doesn't happen for you.
No, that's crazy. That venues, they're so fun sometimes.
I've decided when the last show that I did was on Halloween. Was that the last show? Yeah, that was the last show that I did, and it was really last minute. Lady Annabelle asked me to come be a part of the show. I was like, fuck yeah. It seemed like it was, for some reason, she was like, oh yeah, it's only a 45-minute gig. And I was like, fucking yeah, I'm in. Let's totally,
Yeah.
I'm in. It doesn't even matter. I think it was like call time was 8:30. I'm like, bitch, that's perfect for me.
Yeah, you're like, I can get in and out, be home by 10 p.m. I'm in my bed.
In bed, face wash, body clean. I'll be happy. I was so happy. And I got to dance that night and see my girls. Hell yeah. And so we do it, and it's at this place, and now I can't for the life of me think of what that place was called, but it was packed. It was packed. And I guess what you would say, I don't even know if this is the right term, but like ambient, we're like really like ambiance performers.
Yeah.
We were meant to really, Roxy Revel, she was so good at it because she's so good with people, and she's so personable and like such a I don't know. Have you spent time with her before?
Oh yes,
with Moulin Rouge or with Neon Rouge.
Yeah, love
She's such a sparkling personality. She loves people.
Yeah.
And so this was for her, right? Like she was so good at it. She was mingling with the crowd, and like me, I'm sorry, I don't enjoy people all that much, specifically not like in sardine can situations. It's really challenging for me, and there was no there's no barrier between the people and us as performers. There was no stage, and like it was right, and there were tables, but it was also standing room, so we're like in and out of people, right? And I just realized like that is just not for me, that kind of performing, because I deeply need that
barrier,
that boundary. I really, really need it. And it just comes from like years and years and years, almost 2 decades of waitressing and bartending, and having to be like, get the fuck away from me. And I'm just like, don't want to do it anymore. So that was when I realized like, okay, well now I know what's a hard no for me. Like what I do want to do and what I don't want to do.
Your limits, yeah.
And I would be happy to do, what's the show? Social Beer Garden. Is that the show? Like Little Pixie Gia. That floor.
Yeah.
I could do something like that, because I think everybody's well aware of the rules. Everyone's very aware of what's going on.
Very clear, yeah.
Very clear what's going on. At this situation particularly, there wasn't a whole lot of knowing what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
According to everyone, as far as they knew, I was just somebody taking off my clothes.
Yeah.
You know? So like right in front of them.
Right.
So they didn't really hear what was going on. But it might have been specific to that situation, but I have a feeling that those kinds of like ambiance performances in general just aren't my vibe.
Yeah. And that's okay. I honestly, I feel that they're really intimate, like really a little bit too much intimate for some people. And like, I don't know, I haven't had to do that specifically yet, so I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah. I have go-goed on a floor show, like I go-goed at Lalo for Halloween.
I saw that.
And
You're a busy girl.
Yeah. I got to just kind of like float around, go up to tables, dance for a little bit there, move to a different one. That was fun. I did feel a little bit awkward. Like they might have just thought I was a random girl coming up to like fucking dance in front of their table. Which I was like, you know what? They think that they can have something to like fucking talk about when they get home, you know?
Yeah.
So it was fun, but I don't know how I'd feel about doing burlesque.
Yeah. The actual act of taking off my clothes was, and it was hot as balls, and my pasties came off for one of the songs. So then it's
so funny how much more naked I feel with the pasty off, because I'm like, this is like,
it's the last degree of separation that we have from these people. I mean, that's it. That's the only thing stopping you and me from me being naked in front of you, which is like, it's important. You know what? Call it what you want. I like that last barrier. I like it. And there's a reason why some girls wear safety panties, because they don't want their pussy slipping out on accident.
Yeah.
I don't usually remember. I try to remember, but I don't.
Same.
But yeah, my pasties fell off and I just ran away, like in the middle of the song. And I was like, I'm just going to go back into our little
I don't
tent.
mean to laugh. I just like am imagining
it's
you
funny.
going,
Yeah, I'd literally just like scooted out of there. And some guy stopped me and goes, hey, what's going on? And I'm like, hey, you need to back up.
yeah, fucking get out of my way.
Fully naked.
Yeah.
But he had no idea what was going on. So I wasn't like mad at him, but it was also just like, I'm going to go put a barrier between me.
On, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the poor sweet kittens, it was so hard for them to keep up with everything. I was like, did anybody see my pasties? And they were like, oh no, did they come off? I was like, fuck yeah. So I like run out there and go look on the ground and see if my pasties are on the ground.
Just searching on the ground for nipple covers.
I'm pretty sure I was in this or something like this too, just like a slip dress. And I was just like, has anybody seen? And I'm just like,
my pasties. I can't perform without my pasties.
But now you know.
Yeah. Damn. Did I tell you? Oh.
Tell me everything.
Oh man, the traumatic story behind the scenes at the December soiree for me and Ivy's act. It was so bad, dude.
Please tell me.
Ivy's gonna
I
listen
can't-
to this
I
and have to relive through the trauma with me. It was
can only
so
imagine.
bad, but basically we went to intermission. We were the second act after intermission. So I was like, we got time. And like my childhood best friend and my cousin, who was a dancer, had come to see me for the first time. So I was like really trying to just be like, oh my God, thanks guys for coming. Like got distracted because it had been 2 weeks since I got my wisdom teeth out so I could finally smoke. So Cameron had brought a joint for me to take a hit of at intermission. I got so fucking high, because I had basically had a tea break, that I lost track of time a little bit.
Just a little
bit. Got back there, started getting ready, like, as intermission was, like, ending. And so I'm, like, getting ready, and I'm like, oh my fucking God, this is so stupid of me. Like, because, like, usually, like, one hit off of a joint, seriously, like, does barely anything for me except for like quiet the voices, like like that's basically it. So I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And so Ivy and I had elf ears because we were cute little elves.
You sure were.
And I glued them onto the headband, her headband, that morning because she had it at home and I had meant to take it with me. So I had also glued it a little high than what her ears are. So her ears are like down here, like, and then I had glued the ears fucking like 3 inches above that. And so she looks at me and she goes, Damia, the ears, with pure horror on her face. And I was like, pin them. We can pin them. And like cover it with your hair and pin them. And so like Holly comes back, like, do you guys need anything? I was like, we need to pin her hair. And like, so I'm like trying to pin all these bobby pins and she's helping me. And I'm still trying to get ready. And Holly so nicely like had also like taped my pasties and like left them perfectly on my table.
Yes, as she does.
So sweet.
Yes.
Beforehand, I had stupidly set my boa on the table instead of just hanging it up like a fucking good performer would. So my pasties were gone. They had been swept away at some point during the chaos of us trying to pin these fucking ears in Ivy's hair. And so I look and my pasties are gone. And I'm like, where are my pasties? Huh. And I'm like, that's fine. Where are my pasties? I'm like increasingly getting, where are my pasties? I'm like, guys, where are my pasties?
Hey,
Ivy turns around and she's like fucking ripping shit up for me. And we're like ripping the bow and we're like, oh, there's one. Oh, there's the other. And I'm like, and like, I fucking throw my bra back on. Or throw my bra on, and then like we grab our hats and shit and like our canes and run out there just as like the other one's ending, and they're like, "Hey guys, come on!" And like we hop on the bar and we're like,
everything's fine.
The most stressful I've ever been before a number.
I love that.
But it ended up being fine. We did fine.
And y'all were so cute. And now you'll have that act that you can like kind of recycle over and over and over and over and over. Because the Halloween one is cutie cute, and then Christmas cutie cute.
Cute little Easter bunnies.
You could do everything.
Easter's all candy. Like there's so many holidays that have candy.
It's easily you could somehow make it Valentine's-y.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You could easily make it
like little cupids. That's so cute. Yeah,
so cute.
There's so many ideas. Endless ideas.
Endless.
All right. I hope you loved this episode as much as I did. I am super, super excited that the next episode will feature Miss Ivy Divine. Stay tuned for that.